Hello everyone, Nathan Smith Finley, formerly Evil Dead 2 fan here, and today I come at you again with another Jumanji video. This is not going to be a full-on review of this piece by Noble Collection. There are much better videos out there that you should watch. This is more sort of my feelings and opinions toward this board, which, do not worry, all of them are positive. I friggin' love this board. This, to me, and I'm so glad that this is kind of an opinion just shared about the internet, is just a master stroke. A friggin' out of the park hit by Noble Collection. The fact that they are having pre-orders for February, next month of this year, because they have run out of so much stock, is a testament to how popular not only this particular piece is, but how well done the piece is. And for a price point of $145 USD with free shipping, that is something that you honestly cannot beat. There are plenty of incredible replicas of this particular board out there in the world, but unfortunately some people like myself cannot afford the collector's price. So to have something like this created by a very reputable company like Noble Collection, who have made some pretty impressive prop replicas in the past, is just a dream come true, and I really honestly believe that this is what they're going to be talked about for a long time. Not just their Harry Potter stuff, but this. This is going to be one of those things that's going to be remaining on their site basically until they close down. You know, their Harry Potter stuff, a small bit of the Lord of the Rings stuff, they will always keep, and I think this is also going to be just a permanent addition with not only how popular it is, but just how well done it is. So I did a general overview of this board and made it really flashy, but I wanted to kind of get in to the nitty-gritty and talk about the wonderful accuracies and the tiny inaccuracies of this board, which are very tiny and do not detract at all from just the beauty of this piece. So the first thing, and one that I think a lot of people were talking about, was the teeth on the inside of the board. So these little grooves right here, which a lot of people are calling teeth. In the actual film, these teeth on this side are facing outward. So the same direction that the teeth here are facing. So this should look like this. Yeah, you can see that better in this light. Yeah, so this should look like this. I think the reason that Noble Collection decided against that is because when you close the board, and I'm just going to close this side here, when you close this side, that is a nice clean closure. There are no gaps. The only gaps that are present are the ones right here for these little stud pieces to hold the board closed. That's the only sort of opening you see. On the original prop and on wonderfully detailed high quality replicas, the teeth are done the correct way, and that creates a 1 to 2 centimeter opening of the doors, so it doesn't create a clean closure. So I think the reason that Noble Collection did this was for that clean closure, so that when you do close both doors, when you have this on display, that is just nice and clean. There's no real lines, nothing looks like it's opened or causing the doors not to be completely closed. And that face, we're going to get to the face of that board very soon. So that is one of the small inaccuracies with this board. The rules, so on this side and this side of the inner doors, are in the correct spots. Adventurers should beware should be on this door, and then Jumanji should be on this door. This one right here. The only inaccuracy with these, which I hate to say because these have been so beautifully rendered onto this sticker paper, is that this should be right here. So Jumanji should be just facing the door here, and the same with Adventurers Beware. I also mentioned that this is printed on sticker paper and not plywood, as is seen in the film. I think this is a cost-cutting measure. Either way, it doesn't detract from the board at all because of just how just gorgeously rendered all this has been. I mean, the paint bleeds and the slight scuffs, they've just been done very well, and it's very clear that Noble Collection talked to somebody on the replica prop forums about how to get this done right, because so many parts of this board have been done right. The small doors here are beautiful, and they're held closed with magnets. I'm gonna get my other hand in here. They're held closed with magnets. This magnet came loose. It's not supposed to be like that. As the only defect is that the glue in this one was not too strong, but luckily that's such an easy fix that it does not bother me whatsoever. But the doors, the leaves on them have been so beautifully rendered, just like the leaves on the main board itself. The center dial ring just looks incredible. The paintwork to make it look like brass instead of plastic is impressive. Now, for those of you who own this board, you know that this does come off so that you can play the game that has been included within this. I am somebody who likes my props to be static, so I have taken some glue dots and just put them on each intersecting side of the little ramps here so that it doesn't move, especially in transport, because I hated hearing that rattle around when I was moving it from place to place. It just, I think, looks incredible. I love the little Jumanji logo in there, really adds that extra detail. The pieces, I think, have been beautifully rendered. My favorites are Judy and Sarah's pieces. They just look so film accurate. Peter's piece is a little too well done. The actual screen-used monkey is nowhere nice looking and detailed as this. So I think this is just sort of artistic license on Noble Collection's part, but I do appreciate it. One of the other small gripes that I've heard people say, and that I kind of have, is that Alan's piece... Look at that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Alan's piece is a little too light in color. In the film, his piece is more of a graphite gray than this sort of light gray. I can understand what Noble Collection was probably going for. They didn't want people mixing up the colors of Judy's piece with Alan's piece because they are so close in color in the original film. But the off coloring doesn't bother me as much as I know as it bothers other people. It's so nice to have this rendered in a real world resin, and it just, to me, it looks fantastic. And there are so many wonderful replicators of Jumanji pieces out there. I actually bought Alan's piece from a replicator, this guy, and it's beautiful. I'll post a picture up right now. And to me, it looks screen accurate. So if you want to buy from that guy, he creates some wonderfully screen accurate pieces, and you could easily replace those with these. But that's a different monkey altogether. No pun intended. The dice has been the biggest gripe for me, and I know a lot of people, they are not film accurate at all. But I think to have done film accurate dice would have bumped up the cost of the board, and I think with Noble Collection, they're always striving for the best price possible. You know, they never really want their customers to overpay for their pieces. So I do appreciate the fact that they did try, because everything else is just beautiful. So the dice don't bother me as much as they should. The main face of the board, I think, is where it gets just as great. And what knocks this up from, you know, a nice coffee table piece to being an exquisite prop replica. The face of a Jumanji board, to me, is kind of like the standard of, okay, well, if the face is that nice, then the interior must be even nicer. And for me, Noble Collection just really did an incredible job. My Van Pelt is a little wonky in this light, but in outside light, he looks incredible. I honestly think it's just lighting. Everything else is beautiful, just beautiful. And I know that there were a lot of people who were looking at this wondering why Noble Collection went with this specific color scheme and not a more rugged looking Jumanji like with their smaller electronic version, and I think they were going for the stunt board color variant. The stunt board was sold in 2015, I believe. This is what it looks like, and so here it is compared with the board, the Noble Collection board. So I can see that they were going for that, and I do appreciate it because it's such a beautifully vibrant colors, and it really makes it pop to the eye. I also appreciate the speckling effect that is on the wood of the board. I say wood, but it's more like a resin wood mixture, I think. But I appreciate the speckling effect because that did show up on the original prop. Not to this extent, but it's still nice. It's still a really gallant effort on Noble Collection's part to recreate that sort of wear and tear. And everything is just rendered so well. I cannot talk enough about how much I just love this board. I had a viewer ask very recently if this was worth the purchase because he was going to buy one for himself. And I told him very honestly, yes. If you're a fan of Jumanji as I am, and you can't afford the independent artist pieces, then get this. Because this is the next best thing. This is just absolutely incredible. One of the best efforts I've ever seen done by a mainstream prop replica company. And I can't get enough of it. To have my absolute favorite prop in my hands, in my possession, after years and years of wanting one is just amazing. Incredible. I love this. So, closing words. Noble Collection has done a bang-up job. This, to me, is a straight 10 out of 10. In the terms of quality, in the terms of look and feel. Film accuracy-wise, I would give it a strong 9.5. There are a few small things that could have been done to make it 100% film accurate, but I understand what they were doing. I understand why they did what they did, and it does not detract at all from my absolute love of this piece. So if you're thinking of picking one up, do it. You know, bite the bullet. It's free shipping, but you're getting a quality piece that is going to be the centerpiece of your collection, especially if you're someone like me who has loved this film and loved this prop for as long as they can remember. So yeah,